where I see training and workforce innovation making an impact is filling that gap between, we gave you an entry-level employee, now you need them to do more.
Yeah.
And you don't have the capacity to train them in-house. You need some help from the outside. Hey, Krissy, how you doing?
Hey, Jennifer. I'm good. How are you doing?
Excellent. We are both part of a new department here at WSU Tech, Training and Workforce Innovation. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing in this team.
Yeah, so I'm the director of Shockstarter, and Shockstarter is an applied learning lab here at WSU Tech. We employ students, and they get paid a little bit, and they get to work with real clients out in the field. And we have one here in the background right now helping on this podcast.
Yeah. So what, if I were a company and I were engaging with Shockstarter, how might I work with your students to help my company and my brand?
Yeah, so there's a couple of different ways. So you can reach out and employ Shockstarter like your marketing department. You can employ Shockstarter on a project basis. But something that I'm really excited about, and I think is the future of the training and workforce innovation, is hiring a student to come work in your organization and treat them like an intern, right? Like, I still manage them. Mm-hmm. I get to do all the hard conversations with them. You get to just enjoy them being there, let them shadow you, and then hopefully someday you hire them into your organization. And so that really, it ties into apprenticeships, which I know that you are an expert at. So tell me how those work, apprenticeships.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'd call myself an expert, but I definitely know enough to be dangerous. Apprenticeships, what I love about them is they really are applied learning in action. And I think that's one of the things we lead so well with at WSU Tech, is giving our students the opportunity to apply what they're learning in the textbook in a real world environment. And apprenticeships are just a more formal way of doing that. It's an amazing way for companies to grow their own talent. Mm-hmm. And in a time when talent is at a shortage, especially skilled talent, how do companies continue to address their workforce challenges? And I think apprenticeship is a great way to do that. So it pairs a full-time employment, paid employment, with training on the job and related technical instruction. And we engage in that at WSU Tech in multiple ways. The easiest way, and I think the way that most people are familiar with, is related technical instruction. And that could be through our 4-credit programs. It could be additional professional development that we are doing, customized training. Or it could be online classes that the apprentices are taking. Mm-hmm. And then they have that on-the-job training where they're paired with a mentor, someone who walks with them as they are learning to become skilled tradesmen and women in their field. These can range from a year to 5 years, depending on the depth of skills that apprentices need to learn.
Yeah.
But it's training your own workforce. So they're learning the way you want them to learn. They are becoming loyal to your organization. So by the time they finish that apprenticeship and they are a journeyman, they want to stay with your organization. We are also an intermediary with the state of Kansas, which means that we can sponsor apprenticeships, so we can take care of all of the paperwork for organizations. That's what usually keeps people from wanting to jump on board is, there's so much paperwork.
Yeah.
We can handle it for you.
Mm-hmm.
We can get it registered with the state of Kansas. We can track the skill attainment for your apprentices and make sure they complete appropriately. So taking that administrative burden. And then the most exciting thing that I think we're doing in the apprenticeship space right now is apprenticeship degrees. So giving apprentices the opportunity to earn an associate degree and then potentially a bachelor's degree with some of our 2+2 agreements with WSU and Pitt State and others. So in the apprenticeship space, it's very common to earn your journeyman license, but then you don't also have a degree.
Yeah.
And wanting to have that degree, to know that you finished that too, but also to set yourself up for future roles in your company, you might need a degree. So we are giving apprentices who complete their program credit for prior learning for all of the technical work. So 45 credits, we are recognizing that they've already done that work by completing an apprenticeship. Then they enroll at WSU Tech for 15 credit hours of general education. We package that together and they earn an associate degree.
It's so awesome. It's a way for employers to invest in their
Absolutely.
employees, and also these journeymen that you're talking about to invest in themselves. And like you said, into the future. You mentioned customized training. I'm really excited about that. We have 4 directors here at WSU Tech who are developing training customized to the employers. And so especially with the advancement of AI, I think that's in everything, right? I recently talked to a group and there was a person there from agriculture. There's AI in the combines.
Absolutely. Yes.
Farmers are using AI. So how do we learn that, right? How do we learn these new skills? Well, you partner with WSU Tech, our amazing instructors who many came from industry. They have experience, they have the knowledge, and they can package training together for you for your workforce. And
Absolutely.
I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and I think that's the heart of what training and workforce innovation really is. It's partnering with employers in the area to address their workforce solutions or their workforce needs.
Yeah.
So whether that's through an apprenticeship or a one-off training or a more robust professional development series, we're not trying to act like we have all of the answers.
Right.
But we want to come to the table and brainstorm solutions for employers to help them address the challenges they're seeing in their workforce. We know that economic development only happens when you have the skilled employees to meet the need. And we want to be part of that solution rather than waiting for someone else to come to the table and solve it for them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then there's also this side of the training and workforce innovation department, if you will, that there's people in the community that can also take classes.
Sure.
So they can just look at our catalog, sign up for a class. I know I have one coming up with a few colleagues on marketing.
Yep.
So small business owners, if they want to learn how to market their businesses, maybe it's a retiree that wants to learn marketing so that they can, have their own little digital marketing agency, right, in retirement. I think that's also an opportunity for individuals in our community to take these one-off classes and upskill themselves. I love what they're doing over at Niche.
Yes. And that is probably the thing I hear about the most. When can I go to Niche and take a cooking class? And now you can.
Yes.
We have a whole lineup of classes that are available through the spring for things from a romantic Valentine dinner to soups, a more elevated experience where I took one where we learned how to make beef Wellington. It was exciting. I don't know that I could replicate it, but it was really delicious.
Well, that's why we have, again, those skilled instructors.
Exactly.
Right beside you.
Yes.
To help teach you how to do those things.
Yes. Yeah. It's a cool opportunity to maybe be a student for a day and learn more about what we have to offer at WSU Tech, or to just dabble in something. Everybody thinks they need a side hustle, and we can help you with that too.
Yes, we can.
Small businesses can't afford their own training department with 10 people to train new people or upskill their existing workforce. So this is where WSU Tech can stand in the gap for them. If you only have one person that needs training, they can join one of our existing classes. We can even do one-on-one if that's what needs to happen. But I think of every company needs some kind of IT, but probably don't have the funds to hire a CIO. So how do you train your employees to know enough to keep the company safe on a cybersecurity level? How do you train your employees so they can do some of those basic tech things more than just have you tried turning it off and back on?
Yes.
We all know that one.
Yes.
But yeah, so training and workforce innovation can help with that, filling that gap, providing some equity for these smaller businesses that can't, in that training space, that can't afford to hire an entire department.
Yes, exactly. It's like having a fractional CMO, right?
Oh, yeah.
Now you have a fractional training department.
I like that.
You know, Jennifer, I think about too from the classroom, you know, we send students through the traditional pathways, right? They graduate from high school, they take some classes in high school. We get them here in the classroom. Sometimes they go out to industry, sometimes they go on to four-year university. But what happens after that? Right? They go into industry and they're expected to know, and then that's it. And so training and workforce innovation, whether it's customized training or they're upskilling on their own or an apprenticeship, they're able to gain more skills that impact not only themselves and their families, but also their employer, the business that they're working for, and our community, right?
Yeah, our economy as a whole
Yes.
benefits when we have a well-trained workforce. You know, I like to say that we don't exist as an institution if we're not meeting the needs of our local area.
Yeah.
It's important to me that we are asking the right questions of our employers and helping to meet their needs. And I think we do that well on the academic side. Where I see training and workforce innovation making an impact is filling that gap between we gave you an entry-level employee, now you need them to do more.
Yeah.
And you don't have the capacity to train them in-house. You need some help from the outside. But again, I think it's so important that we are really listening to what our employers are telling us they need and not coming to the table with a fully baked solution, because it's probably not going to be right.
That's right.
We need to go into those conversations with an open mind, really wanting to serve their need, not with our needs in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. And you bring up a good point, right? Like we don't have the answers. We don't know their customer. We don't know their vendors. You know, they may even be a global company and we don't know what that looks like for them, right? But they do.
Right.
And so having them come to us, and during the process of setting up customized training with one of our 4 directors is part of that that time of just learning. What are your needs, right? And then we take that back to the table and we create a training plan with the employer, and then we facilitate that training.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully it's a match made in heaven.
But like you said, it all comes back to listening.
It does.
What are the needs?
Yep. And slowing down long enough to really hear what they're trying to say, what their need is. And sometimes helping them discover that themselves. They might think it's one thing, but when you really do a gap analysis and talk to their employees, you might find out it's something else. So looking at each touch point with that employer is just part of the journey to helping them create the skilled talent that they need to be successful in their industry.
Yes, absolutely. Shockstarter is working with a conference right now. And as we have spent time with them strategizing their marketing needs, we realize that there is a gap where they have some communication with their vendors, right? So we have stepped in. The students get this experience to work with the vendors, create a form, collect information, give best practices. And so that was a gap in their model that, because of listening, we're able to fill for them.
That's great.
And then it gives our students experience. You know, Jennifer, WSU Tech is uniquely positioned to offer training and workforce innovation. I think, you know, I mentioned this before, we have these amazing instructors over many different programs, you know, automotive to accounting, right? Aerospace to robotics. I mean, it's so vast. But a lot of them come from industry. And again, they come with that background. They come with that experience. What else? I mean, what else makes us uniquely positioned that you see?
We have positioned ourselves as experts in technical education, particularly for the 2-year credit-based space.
Yeah.
We have employer partners who trust us to train their entry-level employees and to upskill some of their existing workforce. So I think that uniquely positions us to be a solution provider as training and workforce innovation. So to take what we're doing one step further and being a solution provider on the other end of the spectrum. So not just entry-level talent, but then what are the next things that your workforce needs to continue to make you successful in your industry. Well, Krissy, I know we've been working really hard to launch training and workforce innovation. You and Jamie have been working on the website. So I think that's the next step in fully launching our department.
Yes, I'm so excited for employers to come check out what we're doing on the website, and our amazing Stratcom team. Jamie and I were sending over the copy, and they are building it up. So that's going to come soon. I'm just so excited about what this looks like for our city and our region, and I'm just ready for people to get trained.
Me too. We've had so many people asking for this, wanting more opportunities to engage with us, like at Niche, as you mentioned earlier,
Yes.
But other training too. So it's going to be really exciting to watch it blossom into hopefully a great solution provider for our industry partners. This has been awesome, catching up with you and learning more about what we're doing.
Yeah, I love talking about training with you in the future and all the innovative things that we're doing. So thanks for chatting with me.
Thanks, Krissy.
Thanks, Jennifer.